Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know that it's been a hot minute since I've been here. My name is Heather Lundy. I am a reseller on the Poshmark and eBay app. And what we do on this channel is we talk about the reselling industry. I was, as you can see in my new video or my new little intro there, let me know how you feel about that. Is it too long? Is it interesting? But I have been in the fashion industry for nearly 20 years now as a stylist. I worked at photo shoots, fashion show production, New York Fashion Week, all of that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to use that knowledge in my reselling industry. So on this channel, we will talk about tips and tricks for reselling as well as fashion advice. I am a busy mom of 3, and I also have a wonderful husband. So I'm trying to head more in the reselling, even though I still do some of the fashion work. But if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then, hang around, subscribe, like, all of that. I'm at Her Common Thread. Like I said, you can find me there on Poshmark, eBay, and Instagram. So let's get into today's video. I realize I'm a couple of weeks behind the ball on some of this, but this is my 2020 goals and plan. And how do I propose that I'm going to do this? The answer's in the statement, and that is plan. This is not a new thought process about planning. There's the joke about, Beyonce has 24 hours in a day as well, whatever. But the reason that these people like that are so successful is because they plan. And it's so important to them that they also have someone, sometimes an entire staff, that plans for them. They don't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, at some point I'm going to shoot a video today, or, oh gosh, I need to get to the grocery store at some point. They plan. So this is my big number one goal for the year, is to plan. And when we don't plan, we plan to fail, right guys? So whether it's going to the grocery store or listing, shooting, sourcing, whatever it is going to be planned in my week. And one of the ways that I want to change my business this year, I know I talked last year a little bit about it, was upping my social media game. At the end of last year, we moved. My husband moved a couple of months before us. So it was me and the kids, me trying to get a house on the market, selling the house, dealing with all that it is. And so at one point, I just finally said, you know what, I can't do it. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to do that. But if I have a plan in place, then I know that even when things like that come up, I can schedule. So I have, to help me with my social media goals this year, I have a social media planner. Yay! It's really big. I did not realize on Amazon that when I bought it, it was going to be that big, but that's okay. And so it is helping me plan. I already have my next 8 or so videos planned. And what I do in the mornings is I just wake up and I have my cup of coffee, I share my closet, and then I schedule out my day. So whether it's going to the grocery store or whatever, it is in my plan. So I would like to increase my Instagram, my YouTube, and I think that this is just going to help whenever Poshmark does go switch over, like we learned at PoshFest, when they switch over to those Posh stories, that I've already kind of got something going and it'll just slide in there like clockwork. So that's one of the things that I want to do with my business. The third thing is sourcing. I do kind of want to change up the way that I source. I told you we moved, so we now live within 30 minutes of a Ben's, which is also known as the Goodwill outlet. And so I would like to try my hand at that. I've never been to one before. Towards the end of last year, because I was so busy, I wasn't finding time to source, so I did a lot of the liquidation boxes. I also bought a lot of things that were new with tags to get my closet ready for the holiday season. So I spent a little bit more in my cost of goods, and so I'd like to bring that back down, and I'm hoping that I can do that with the bins. Cross-posting. This is a huge thing for me this year. Towards the end of last year, I would say right around October-ish, November, I realized Poshmark was just not going to be where it all was. You know, my first love, but not my only love. And I just think it's important to have multiple streams of revenue and income. If you want to take your business to the next level, then you know, it's important to cross-list on multiple platforms. So this year I will be targeting eBay and Tradesy and maybe the Real. I have some higher end items that tend to do better on some of those platforms. So that's what I will be doing. I was did the beta testing for Vendu, and that was just a game changer. I mean, towards the end of the year last year, when I was not able to share my closet, I was still getting eBay sales. So that was really, really nice. And I've seen a change already in my business because of that. Time management. Okay, so this was an interesting thing. I did a poll on my Instagram, and I will do these things from time to time. If you do want to check my Instagram out, it's Her Common Thread. Like I said earlier, I asked, you know, to people who buy, do you care whether or not something's on a hanger or a mannequin? And it was a vast majority. People didn't care. So putting things on a mannequin takes a lot more time. So a couple of videos ago, I did, you know, how to figure out how much you make per hour as a reseller, and I was very sad at the number. So since then I was trying to figure out, okay, what can I do to decrease my time? And that is one of the things I'm going to do. Now I will still put things on a mannequin, maybe that have a unique cut, that don't hang well, dresses probably, but for tops and sweaters and skirt things, just things that, you know, are fine, I'm just gonna put on a hanger from now on. So that's another thing that I'm changing. Inventory data. I am a numbers person, and because I did not plan, my inventory data has gotten way behind. So I need to be better about inputting my inventory when I list. And that will just help me stay on top of my numbers, how much I'm making. I know that Sarah Stiles has an analytical data inventory report that works with your Poshmark inventory and your sales inventory reports or sales reports from Poshmark. And I'm thinking about checking that out to kind of help me see what sells best for me. So it's those sorts of things that I would like more information on, so that I can know, oh, these aren't selling that well. This brand does better for me. Wow, surprisingly, shoes sells better than I realized. And so inventory data and all of that, I really want to take to the next level. And then, you know, there are some things, you know, personally that I want to change. And that is having to do with my health. You know, I've been doing reselling now for, I think, about a year and a half. I think I've been on the app selling a few things for maybe 2 years or so. But last year, January to December, was my first full year on the app, hitting it hard. And it seems like there's this trend that when you do that, because you are inviting all these new concepts into your life, sourcing, shooting, measuring, listing, all of these things, other things kind of go to the wayside, and health was one of mine. I've always kind of been, you know, I like to work out, I like to take care of myself, and that, especially towards the end of last year with all that was going on, totally went to the wayside. So now, because I am planning, once again, there's that word, I am now planning a workout because it's important. You know, I want to be able to run around with my kids without feeling tired. I want to have the energy to be able to do that. I want to take care of myself. I want to get regular haircuts. All of those things. And so I'm happy to say this is like the second weekend of the year that I've worked out 4 to 6 days a week the past couple of weeks, and I'm feeling, I'm already feeling better, and it's just great. And then I need also making better choices about what I'm putting in my mouth, you know, like not those quick little stops after sources, you know, at whatever, you know, fast food places around, or this on the sourcing trips, you know what I'm saying. And then we are hoping to buy a home this year. We're in a rental right now. since we moved to a new city, trying to figure out where we want to be, and I need to plan for when that happens. I need to plan to still be able to continue things that I want to do. So there is that. And then last, balance. For me, that is going to be key this year. I know that the sexy word is hustle. I know that that's what everybody wants to buy into, the hustle, you know, faster, bigger, louder, stronger. But for me, that has been my mantra for probably the last 15 years, and it's left me tired, burnt at both ends. And now I think I'm moving towards more of a balance. You know, as I listen to YouTubers and people on Instagram, there was so much apologizing, particularly towards the end of last year, around the holidays, of I'm sorry I didn't get a video up, or I'm sorry I haven't been checking in, or I'm sorry, you know, it's been, you know, we've had a lot of holidays, people in town, and that's okay. It is okay, because that's what life truly is about. It's about your family, about spending time with them, and not feeling the pressure of having to perform to someone else's expectations. So, you know, whether you are a college student and you're trying to get your grades in, or you're trying to figure out, what am I doing with my life? It's okay. You know, if you are, you know, a college graduate and you're trying to find out, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm trying to find my job. You know, this is a side hustle for you. You know, you're the stay-at-home mom, or, you know, your kids are up all night because they're sick, or your baby's not sleeping, or your kids have a function at school. It's okay. You know, if you are an empty nester and you're like, what do I do with my life now? My kids are gone. And it's okay. If you're a grandmother who's like, how am I relevant anymore? I don't know why I'm getting emotional. It's okay, you know, like if you're trying to figure out, you know, how do I stay relevant in a world that seems like it only operates for a 20-year-old? It's okay. And that's what I love about this particular industry, is that everybody can do this, but do it however it works in your life. That is all I have to say for this one. I don't know why I'm a little emotional about that. That's okay, because balance is what is important. So anyways, if you found this helpful at all, if you got any tips or anything like that, give me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Once again, you can find me at Her Common Thread on Poshmark, eBay, Tradesy, and hopefully The Real at some point. I'm not real sure how that one works out. But yeah, check me out. I do have a website, and you can see kind of some of my styling background if you want to look at that, and that's at Her Common Thread. And of course, like I said, I'm on Instagram if you would like to check me out there. So thanks for stopping by, and my next video will be what sold the first week in January. Bye.